नमस्ते दोस्तों, आपका स्वागत है मेरे चैनल पर। इसे सब्सक्राइब करें और घंटी आइकन दबाएं।
It's 7:30 in the morning on August 6th, 1945, in the Japanese city of Hiroshima. The weather is perfectly clear. Children are getting ready for school, families are eating breakfast, and when the local radar system triggers a brief air raid alarm, the city's 350,000 residents completely ignore it. High above the quiet streets, an American B-29 bomber named the Enola Gay cruises through the sky. To anyone looking up, it appears to be a solitary weather plane posing no immediate threat. But sitting quietly in the belly of that bomber is a weapon unlike any the world has ever seen. Codenamed Little Boy, it is a uranium core atomic bomb. Right below the flight path of this massive, meticulously engineered machine of war, tens of thousands of mothers, fathers, and young children are pouring tea and walking out their front doors. How did this sweeping geopolitical machinery of a global war converge directly over the heads of completely oblivious civilians on a quiet Tuesday morning? The path to Hiroshima actually began 3 decades earlier. In 1914, the assassination of Austro-Hungarian Archduke Franz Ferdinand triggered a chain reaction of alliances that dragged Europe, and soon the globe, into the First World War. Conflict rapidly spilled over from battlefields to civilian populations. When German submarines sank the RMS Lusitania in 1915, they killed over 1,000 passengers, including 128 Americans, pulling the previously neutral United States toward the fight. Germany was defeated and economically crushed by the war's end. Out of that financial ruin and national humiliation emerged Adolf Hitler, who seized power with a promise to conquer the globe, igniting the Second World War. On the other side of the world, Japan was aggressively invading countries across Asia. In response, the United States cut off Japan's oil supply, a critical resource bottleneck designed to freeze the Japanese military in its tracks. Knowing an attack was their only way to break the embargo, Japan launched a devastating surprise strike on the American naval base at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. Over 2,400 Americans were killed in a matter of hours. 8 massive battleships were sunk or severely crippled, alongside hundreds of destroyed aircraft. This singular, devastating blow obliterated America's isolationist stance and dragged them fully into the conflict. After 4 grueling years of fighting across the Pacific and taking heavy losses in grueling island battles, an exhausted American military sought a definitive, overwhelming measure to force Japan's surrender. Which brings us back to 8:15 a.m. over Hiroshima. The bomber's bay doors open, and Little Boy drops out of the sky. In an instant, the entire city is engulfed in a blinding flash. Between 70,000 and 80,000 people are vaporized on the spot. The intense heat leaves nothing but dark shadows of their final poses scorched directly into the concrete. Wood, stone, and steel simply cease to exist. Buildings, streets, and trees are immediately reduced to a vast, flattened plain of gray ash. The Japanese government barely had time to comprehend the scale of the damage before the US military deployed a second, even larger plutonium weapon named Fat Man just 3 days later. The American bomber originally intended to drop this device on the dense military infrastructure of Kokura, but heavy cloud cover blocked their view, forcing the pilots to divert to their backup target. On August 9th, the sky above Nagasaki tore open. Tens of thousands of additional civilians were instantly incinerated underneath a massive, towering cloud of radioactive smoke. By targeting urban centers with these weapons, the United States combined a strategic military strike with a live demonstration of nuclear physics on dense civilian populations. Facing complete annihilation, the Japanese government officially surrendered, bringing the Second World War to a formal close in early September 1945. For the generals and politicians, the conflict was over, but for the people left sifting through the radioactive rubble, the ordeal was only starting. Survivors who escaped the initial blast suffered from horrific thermal burns and acute radiation sickness. Over the coming years and decades, rates of cancer, birth defects, and skin diseases spiked among those exposed. The social fabric of both cities evaporated alongside their buildings. Families were permanently severed, leaving thousands of orphaned children to navigate a barren, toxic wasteland completely alone. Then came the grim irony of global diplomacy. Over the next 30 years, the United States, the very nation that orchestrated this destruction, poured massive resources into rebuilding Japan's technology and industries, turning a vanquished enemy into a top economic superpower and close ally. Treaties can be signed and economies can be entirely rebuilt, but the highest costs of imperial expansion and total war are always extracted from the lives of ordinary people who were simply eating breakfast.
Like, comment, subscribe my channel.